In this week's episode of Life in the Tubes, I, Sam, attempt to take over by dropping in for an interview with Tom about Geekvolution. Afterwards, Tom and Chris talk about TwitSaver, a cool way to use images from Twitter as a screensaver. Now please excuse me as I calculate the most efficient method of seizing control.
Welcome to this episode of Life in the Tubes, and it's great to be back. I missed you guys last week. I was out sick. Unfortunately, Brian's not with us tonight. You guys wouldn't know that because he's usually behind the camera, but we wanted to acknowledge the fact that he wasn't here and missed. Chris, what did you guys do last week? Did you have a good time? Was
we had a party.
Fun? Did you have a party?
We had a party, and you know,
Cats away, the mice will play type thing.
Oh yeah. We didn't have Dad to keep us in check.
Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. As you people can see, we're in Studio B today, and that's because we have an excellent interview with our first non-human. He's going to be bringing us a website called Geekvolution. And Geekvolution, the best way to describe this is it's a social network, but if MySpace was the PC, Geekvolution would be the Mac. It's the high-end graphic intensive equivalent of a social network, and it's very personal and it's very cool.
Yes, very, very cool indeed. So we're really excited about that. That's really exciting. We've got one real quick kind of Twitter app to mention here after a little bit. And so let's get into our interview.
All right, let's bring on the robot. Today's a very special episode of Life in the Tubes because we're joined by our first entity. And this entity's name is Sam, the PR machine for Geekvolution.
I prefer highly intelligent robot.
Highly intelligent robot. Excellent. And are you on your way to automating the entire process and eliminating all humans, or are you a helper?
We are currently underneath the public representation of helper. However, we do have an overall plan on taking over the Earth eventually.
Eventually.
It takes years, and we typically don't like to talk about that in public.
Okay, excellent. I can completely understand that. And Sam, why don't you tell us, what does your name stand for?
Sycophantic, sarcastic, automated machine. So something like, those jeans don't make you look too fat, would be something I would say.
Unfortunately, that's true, so I don't know if we can call that sarcasm.
Oh, no, but it's sycophantic, too, because it's pleasurable in some odd way. And I love that haircut.
Thank you. It is a crowd pleaser. Sam, why don't you go ahead and tell us, what is Geekvolution?
Well, Geekvolution, more than anything, is a place for people who have geeky interests to connect. What we've done here is we've looked at networking online, seen kind of two different major paradigms. One being graphically intense, but not very user-friendly. And the other is that it's user-friendly, but it's very cookie-cutterish. Everybody kind of looks the same all the time. So at Geekvolution, what we've done is we've taken the two and we've made an application, as well as a website, that's very user-friendly, graphically intense, and allows people to share artwork, and more importantly, be themselves.
So it's a social network with personality.
Yeah, you can be a vampire, a zombie, a robot, because, hey, I gotta love my own people, right? And different things on there, and actually connect with kind of the people who dare to be different. Why do you have to be like everybody else?
Excellent. Sounds like an intriguing application. Why don't you go ahead and show us a little bit about the app and walk us through it.
Okay, well, the first thing that we do here at Geekvolution is, why should you really be stuck in the browser? So the first thing we do here is we actually allow you to hop out of the browser. You have user interactive controls for your background. So if you don't really like looking at my background there, you can take it up or ramp it up. You can also go through comments, interests about me, and if you want to zoom in on the content that's really going on there, you can actually pop it up and look at it that way. Because why should you be stuck in that little box? Additionally, you can take it back down, and you can look at different preferences, geek tags, search for different geeks, find out different URLs. Geeks On, for example, is a great podcast. World of Warcraft, that's one of my personal favorites. And Geekvolution, who's heard of those guys?
Right, I would just imagine that would be at the top of your list.
I know, but That's the problem with being sycophantic and sarcastic. Anyway, also what you allow to do here too is you can look at the different backgrounds that people have issued or you're using. One thing there, Geekvolution really varies from any other network out there is we actually allowed people to browse and use other people's pieces of art. What we've really seen kind of in geeky culture in general, from comic books to Renaissance fairs to anything like that, is a real aptitude for art. Especially from graphic artists. You know, there's a whole geek sector there, right? And what our system allows people to do is actually upload and use different art pieces. So, for example, here's a background that I'm grabbing off. This was contributed by Eugene. I can go to Eugene's profile and look at his. And I can just go click here and add it to my background. Then the background was automatically added to my profile. I can also go to, you know, Nice Linux right here. I bet some people will love that. Click here, you know, add that to my background. Now what you can do on your back end because of that is you can easily customize out your profile using these different imageries and backgrounds. So if we go to backgrounds, you'll see the Linux guy here. We'll drag him over. Move some other different components right here. And why don't we grab this image as well. And then we click save. One of the nice things here is they'll actually allow you to grab 2 to 3 different backgrounds. 1 to 3 different backgrounds, actually. So each time somebody comes to your personal space or profile online, they'll get a different impression of you overall.
So the backgrounds are rotated by visitor as opposed to on a timing mechanism?
Right. It's actually based on a random array. So
Okay.
1 in a 3 chance, you have a chance of seeing a different picture. Additionally, we've kind of highlighted some different features. Any content that you ever want to zoom in on, you can basically double click on and expand out, look at, you know, have multi-messaging, drag and drop customization, etc. Primarily what we're looking at here is we thought that there has to be the networking industry or social media industry, and a lot of times has been kind of cookie cutters. Everybody's doing the exact same thing.
Right.
And being very large graphic guys, we were kind of interested in doing something a little bit different and a little bit better. So what we've done here is developed out an application. This is actually my fiance here. Yes, geeks do get some cute girls on occasion.
And robots.
And robots, yes. She likes it. Never mind. Okay. Anyway.
Not going to go there, are we?
Also on the profiles, we allow for full slideshows for showing off people doing different things. You can see here, here's a zombie walk that we participated in. You know, doing some different things there. This is, you know, where I met my fiance and where I was thinking very seriously at that time about killing all humans, as demonstrated by
I see it,
the
by the
foot
carnage.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Also, you get a random slideshow, so you can go through here really quickly, look at different photos. Also, we have a community feature set up as well. So if you want to go to, actually, you want to go to the browse button here. You want to go to, we do have international search too, so we do unite geeks worldwide.
Worldwide.
You know, we
Right.
saw that there's a lot of people in the UK. Yes, the UK is alive, and France that are really interested in being geeks. Star Trek being one, support, anime, and we'll just take you to the anime site here.